That's why I call it dark matter consciousness.
That consciousness. It's a consciousness that is superior. That's a superior. That said, listen, I can feel it.
Yes.
It's a knowing.
I can, yeah, man.
I have a tune that I wrote as a musician. There's a tune that I wrote, and I called it Melanin Bio Supercomputer.
You want to bring it up. You want to bring it up. And incorporate this in here. You got to sing this, brothers. Go ahead, brother.
Yes.
Listen, please excuse me. Let's hear the system. Yes, I'm sorry. We're going to be next.
I just wanted to get something clear. You were saying that everything is hydrogen, right?
Yes.
And the melanin is a vehicle for the hydrogen.
Yes.
So that means that the individual that's melanated can know everything.
Yeah, you can know
Can be aware of everything.
You can become aware. You have the potential.
Right. Plugged in.
Yeah.
We're more in tune.
Yeah. And what has been happening to us is that we have been suppressing that for the last 500 years. Yes. That's one of the messages I want everyone to go home with tonight.
Yes.
We've been suppressing that power, that blessing for the last 500 years. And Gagut now says that time is over.
Well, we have a last question here,
Yes, please.
brother. Last question.
I wanted to know, well, there's a couple of questions. I wanted to know the specific actions that one should take, or maybe the specific lifestyle that one takes in order to prevent the velocity that you was talking about, the
Yes.
light, the velocity or whatever.
The loss of the life waves, yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
from preventing that from escaping or prevent, well, that's death, right, once it escapes, but either to prevent a person from aging.
Yeah, okay.
And one more thing, I wanted you to also speak on, I was looking at television the other day, and I saw that they gave the Nobel Prize to a white economist,
Yes.
and I want to know the significance of why they gave it to a white economist.
Well, they have different categories.
Oh.
Yes.
You have economics, mathematics,
yes.
physics, biology.
That's the answer to that part. But you see, the answer to all that question is in this and this. You notice that you've thrown quite a bit of questions so far, and it's all been in here. That's what we call the theory of everything. And I want you to go home and think of more questions. And ask. Go ahead, brother.
Oh, I'm sorry. If I may, I know the brother, there's so much to what this is about. There's no way we can encapsulate it. What I can do for you to let you know is that the mind that you have now operating with you, through thought, you create conditions that become what are known as appetites. These appetites tend to create conditions within the body that, according to Gagut, tends to accelerate the life process out of the body. So, in understanding how your thoughts create appetites based upon emotion, which is electrical motion, how you begin to calibrate those thoughts and emotions through all the cells of your body creates appetites. In other words, someone who sexes a lot, for instance, creates a sexual appetite based on the fact that their thought process creates sexual cells who then vibrate that energy through you to activate or act upon that appetite. The more appetites you have, the more you accelerate the life process out of the body. So the less appetites you have, the less your body is agitated or irritated, thus the less you move your age process forward. You do not age because you spin around the sun. Solar aging is a lie. You age every 7 years. Your whole body recharges itself and replenishes its total cellular structure. Within that 7-year cycle, how are you acting? How are you behaving? How are you processing stimuli through emotion? All of these come together in tandem.
I know that semen, dealing with the male,
Yes.
his essence.
Yes.
I know the more that you use of that, that's
Yes.
something vital to what your life
Exactly.
Yes.
Yes, and with the female, it's her blood.
Yes.
Excuse me, Phil, is that appetite, another word for that appetite called desire?
No, desire and feeling are male and female aspects that create the appetite. You can create an appetite based on desire, and you can create an appetite based on feeling.
Yes.
So these two aspects, yes.
Let me just say again, is within God. Okay? Eta sub-zero is the realm that we're talking about, which is the spirituality, the brain waves. Okay? The mind waves. That's what we're talking about. You understand? Now, first of all, aging is an arbitrary terminology that you force to really see through the eyes of somebody in many ways, but that brings in a dramatic or a drama from the night and day. The motion that I explained to you earlier. This rotation about the axis, okay, by Mother Earth is where you get so control about aging. And in some ways, there is a part to, like the engine. When the engine runs, okay? When the engine runs, it ages, supposedly. What they're saying then is moving. It's moving. And it's moving so many times. The moving so many times is not necessarily meant to get you to break down. You understand? The moving, if you colliding, okay? If you do something bad in the process of the motion, then okay, you can see how you could, get into trouble. But if you're moving smoothly on the proper trajectories,
That's right.
you shouldn't have to worry about age at all.
Definitely. Consciousness.
You should not have to worry about age. The way that you meant to think about age is a wrong way.
That's right. Erroneous. Yes, sir.
70 years supposedly age should have nothing to do with the state of your existence.
That's right.
Because you're counting a revolution, that's all you're counting.
That's all you do.
A revolution around the sun, that's what
right.
you're counting as
That's all
years.
Tell them. Tell them.
That's really it.
Tell them.
That has no bearing per se on your system.
That's right.
Your mind, okay,
Ages.
is where the aging come from.
That's
It's,
right.
you've heard the expression, it's all in your mind?
Yeah, it is.
Yes,
Tell 'em.
in reality.
Tell 'em what to do.
Because eta sub-zero drives all that process. So if you get involved in that, and the dynamics involves you creating time for yourself, just like he said, the desires are controlled within eta sub-zero. That's what Gagut calls you on to do right now. To take control over your thinking process. And through that, you can improve a lot, longevity. And by linking it with, the dynamics of Gagut, you can live on for a very long time.
Let me ask this last question from Dr. Phil Valentine.
Yes.
Do you have a date set yet for the final chapter of The Matrix? And if you do, where is that going to be taking place? And what could we look for in the final chapter of The Matrix?
Yes, go ahead.
The Matrix is supposed to be coming out soon. I know everybody's been calling me around the country. They asked me to go to the Matrix movie with them.
That's beautiful.
But I think the 23rd of this month, I will be doing something with Eye Opener Production. And I will be closing out that. You know I have this thing called Metaphysics of the Construct, and dealing with the so-called Matrix series. I will be breaking down the fact that Neo and Mr. Smith are one, and that the architect essentially was Neo's conscience. And we're going to speak a lot deeper about the construct and what it means to us, what it means matrix revolutions, why plural, and not matrix revolution.
Right.
And there are little things that we're going to be speaking about on that date. You'll have to call Brother Sarnetta, not Brother Sarnetta, Brother Shabazz. And Brother Shabaz's number, if I may give it, is area code 347-512-4952. And we will probably be holding it at, if I'm not mistaken, the Brown Chocolate Cafe. And if not, we will find another place, but call the brother and he will let him know. Thank you, Brother Sonnet. And with that, I want to close out by saying,
Just one quick.
yes.
I just want that before we go into this one. These are some of the petitions from the school that we told you before, okay? This is from MIT, okay, what we were saying before, so you know, without, okay.
Those are the petitions from MIT for him to come and speak.
Okay.
Teach.
With the students and